Since my last video, I'm going to go down to the hourly chart and show you the detail of what's going on here. As you can see, there's now a yellow symmetrical triangle here. I've drawn on these three horizontal white lines with my magnet on, showing the last three highs, the third one being here just recently. I've drawn in those lines now because, first of all, I want to keep my chart fairly clean and to look at. So I'm deleting more and more stuff as it passes. Those three horizontal lines are the last three tops. So let's just go down to the hourly chart and I'll talk about that since I'm already talking about the horizontal lines. What I'm looking for there is, just to, if it takes out previous highs, that's an important thing to look at. So obviously I've got that on my chart now. Long story short, if I can spit it out of my face to your ears, that's what I'm trying to say. Those three white lines there are the last three highs. And since the last one, it's put in two lower highs on the hourly chart. And it has formed this yellow triangle that has about a $6,000 target. As you can see, the price action since my last video, it came up, peaked out at about 69,550, came back down and has been bouncing off the top of that smaller little red channel. And just in the last couple hours, it broke down through it. And now if I zoom in further, you can see that it's come back up and and now it's resistance. See? So if you're new to this, real just beginner level stuff where you can start to get a grasp for what's going on. Those white lines, that's you watch for a higher high or a lower high, lower lows, lower highs, higher lows. All that stuff plays, and that's real good fundamental stuff to learn. And then this is something to learn right now if you're new to this, or if you've been to this, if you've been in this for a while, you still might not know. It took me a couple years to really start seeing this, how it works. And this right here is an important thing to learn, right? That red line was support. See on the hourly chart, support, 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 support. Came back down, support, and then finally brushed down through it. And now look, this green, look, it came back up, and now it's resistance. So when support turns to resistance, that's important. When resistance turns into support, that's important. Good solid stuff to have in your toolbox moving forward. And let's not make this video too long. It's real difficult making videos about this subject to different people in different positions and different stages, right? And I have a tendency to try to start doing that, explaining everything, and I probably start boring people. So let's not do that. Okay, $6,000 target on the yellow channel, yellow triangle. The red ascending bearish parallel channel has about a $8,500 target. It could break up as well. But the interesting thing here is if the price broke out of this yellow triangle, now these targets aren't always hit accurately, but it's great analysis. It's great indicators. That's great perspective to what the moves could look like. So a $6,000 move, say it busted out here, the yellow triangle at 69,500. A $6,000 move would be 75,500. And see, that's why I have those white lines in there. This is the target, or, just a little short at the top of the red channel. And, if it did come up there, it probably would go ahead and take a run at the red channel and then get rejected, maybe. But, that's the main point I'm saying here is that would be an all-time high, and an all-time historical high of Bitcoin if that triangle breaks up. So I don't think that's going to happen. Now, it could still break up and get rejected by like the heart line in this red channel, these white horizontal lines. But, the next high, the last high is 72,000. And, that's obviously something to watch. If it sets a higher high, then maybe the pump's in action, in play. But, in this red channel, when that formed, when I drew that in the other day, in the last video, a day ago, we got the symmetrical triangle, so let's say it broke down Obviously, it's an $8,500 target out of the red channel, which I was saying would be close to this heart line down here in that ballpark. Watch for it. If it did come down that far, it's likely to find support there, if not sooner, on these other lines coming down. Targets don't have to be hit, but that was for the red channel. So let's just see what the target would be for the yellow channel on a $6,000 move to the downside. Say it broke out here in the next 24 hours. Just call it 67,400. That would be 61,400. So let's just go ahead and see what that would look like. And obviously it wouldn't go down in a straight line. It might, bounce here, fake, and then support, and then, and then broken. But what did I say it was? 67.4. So 61.4 would be just actually right there, right at the top. So that's a real interesting thing to look at right there. The top of the macro channel, green descending bullish channel, would probably be a good place for support. And oftentimes, maybe that's why I say, targets aren't usually hit accurately. So like the $8,500 target on that red channel down, and it stops at 6,000. Well, is that because there was another pattern that, that someone never saw, right? If I never saw that yellow triangle, I might say, well, why did it only go 6,000? Well, maybe it's the triangle's target that's going to get hit. Or maybe the triangle target gets hit at 6,000 and it finds support and it comes back up here, or maybe even up here, and then boom, there's the red channel target hit, right? That's just how this works. And, it doesn't have to be perfect, and, maybe those targets aren't hit at all, but if it breaks down, those are real good supports to look. And I would say for you to go to Femex, and you don't have to have money involved. You can go and chart this. I would say this is a good chart for you to have just for perspective. Now these little gray channels, this one here, I just call that my bull trap extension. What it's doing is it's marking, get my magnet back on. It's marking the back here. It's marking this wick here. Boom. Right. And that's a real good place to have it. I can't get it on there now. I'll zoom in and, anyways, you got it. You got the idea. That's about all I wanted to say. I get this back to where it's supposed to be. I got a bearish and a bullish. That's just a common behavior with these channels. Is it'll peak out of the channels and then come back down, and then I just call them. It's just a word I made up. I mean, it's not a word I made up, but I just call them my bull trap extensions. And down here on the bottom, there's a bear trap extension. And it's just something I kind of made up. I don't know if it's something that's already out there that's been invented or whatever, but that's just what I call them. The real macro pattern is the green channel going down. We've got the red channel going up. The red's bearish, the green's bullish, the yellow is 50-50 coin flip, right? So you can see why I've got this kind of color coded, right? Like a street stop signal, right? Red, green, and yellow. Red means stop, green means go, yellow means hurry up. In this case, yellow means, one means hurry up or stop, I guess. Yellow means go or stop, right? It's 50-50 call, and that's just what this is. And if I had to guess, I'd say it's coming down. What to watch for is, before I go here, what to watch for is if Bitcoin comes down and spends more time from now on. Right now, it's basically kind of in the middle of the triangle. But, if it comes down here to the bottom of the red and it starts spending time down here in the bottom half of the triangle, that's usually a pretty good indication that there'll be a breakdown. Now, that's not it's not perfect, and I don't know what the odds are, but that's just a thing to watch for. And it's also, it's also on the bottom of the red channel. Now, what happens if it comes down here? What if it breaks out the yellow channel? This is a common thing too, is with these symmetrical yellow triangles, is it could break out, right? It could break out and kind of give a fakey fake, and then kaboom! That's just one thing that happens often. and just watch out for that. Watch out for fakey fakes because the market has got low volume, and it's just indecision, right? It's indecision. The market's just kind of sitting there. And the quantum computer, I just look at it like you're playing a game against a quantum computer. The quantum computer is just collecting all this data and all this stuff and just sitting there waiting. And there will, in my opinion, there's going to be large green candles or large red candles when this eventually breaks. Whether it's up or down, it'll probably be pretty have a lot of pepper to it. Now I'm out of here. Have a good night, day, morning, afternoon. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Later.